Hey guys, Scott with your reviews today to do a miles per gallon loop with the 2018 Tundra Crewmax with the 5.7. And today, to assist me, I have my lovely wife, Carmen. She'll be filming today, and what we're gonna do is a 100-mile loop from here to Boston. We're gonna go to lunch, and then we're gonna come back, and we will show you the real-world results of our highway and city loop to Boston. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so here we are at the pump. The Tundra requires 87, so we're just gonna put some 87 in there. And it's 263 a gallon at Irving. All right, so it just clicked off, and the first is 14.55 gallons. So we'll go ahead and calculate that inside the truck. And this first calculation is just gonna be kind of normal driving, me being a little bit heavy on the gas. So we'll see what that calculation is in just a minute. All right, guys, so this first calculation is gonna be not this particular trip, but this is just my normal MPG. So we have trip A, 196.5, so 196.5 miles. All right, and then so 186.5, and then we're gonna divide that by 14.55. All right, so without trying, and again, this is city, this is me, you know, flooring the truck a couple times. So we're averaging 13.5, and again, that's pretty much dead in line with what Toyota recommends for the truck, what they say, you know, average between city and highway. So what we're gonna do now is we'll go ahead and reset the trip computer. Just a second. All right, so now we're at 0, and then our trip to Boston is going to be exactly 47 miles. Okay, so just looking at the map here, it's gonna take about 50 minutes, 47 miles from here all the way up to Boston. We're gonna go to Faux Basil, our favorite place. All right, so here we are on the highway going to Boston, and if you can see here, we've got the cruise control set to 70 miles an hour. I know some of you might think that that's slow, some of you might think that's too fast for an MPG loop. That's what I'm sticking with. So we're going to try and attempt to be 70 miles an hour the entire 47-mile trip. But once we get into Boston, we have 1.8 miles from the highway to the restaurant that we're going to. So just kind of bear that in mind. So it's 95% highway for this first trip. So if you pay attention to the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you'll notice that it says 73, 74 miles per hour. Well, that is the GPS speed checked by my dash camera. Just know I did have my adaptive cruise control set to 70 miles an hour, and the truck did show 70 before I started hitting traffic. Here we are getting off the highway into downtown Boston, and again, it was a 1.8 mile drive to the restaurant and the parking garage, so just keep that in mind when you are looking at my MPG results. How was lunch, honey?
Delicious.
It was delicious. What did we get?
We got bowl that is just like a special.
What is that?
It has all the meat, all the meats.
So it's like a delicious soup, right?
Yeah.
It's delicious. What else?
Vietnamese.
What else we get?
I got the
Drunken noodles.
so
A little spicy. It's delicious.
exactly.
Absolutely. Well, that was a delicious lunch. Here we are, still going 70 on our way home. Right now we're at, it's saying 16.5 MPG. We will see very shortly. And then our trip meter says 70.5 miles. So we should be home in about 22 minutes. All right, guys, well, this thing is saying 17 miles a gallon. We will see about that in just a minute. So we're about to get off the highway here, but like I said, we will calculate that into 17.1. Ooh, I don't know about that. All right, so we're back at the Irving that we started the day off with. And if you look in here, so our trip computer says we've gone about 95.6 miles, and the truck is telling us that we got 17.1 miles a gallon. Let's go over to the pump and find out if that's true or not. All right. gonna put 87 octane in as we did previously. My estimate is we did, what did we say, 94? 95?
95 miles.
95 miles. I want to say 6.5 gallons. Let's see. We'll just do it until it clicks. What did I say? What did I say? 6.3, 6.5. Could be wrong. I could be way off on that, but we'll see. Oh, okay.
Oh, very close.
Well, no,
Good stuff.
5.6.
5.6.
I said 6.5. Okay, so I was wrong on that one. All right, well, let's go. We'll go calculate inside what we got. All right, here's the moment of truth. We have our receipt here and we have our mileage. So again, our trip computer says 95.6 miles, so 95.6. And then we have our receipt here. If you zoom into this, that says 5.968 gallons, so...
No, 5.69.
I'm sorry, 5.69 gallons. So divide that by 5.698 gallons, and we come up with 16.778. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right. So 16.7 miles a gallon. So the trip computer says 17.1. So there's a half a mile a gallon off there. Not sure where that necessarily comes from. So 16.7, and those mileages consisted of 47 miles each way. That's 47 miles each way. And then there was 1.8 miles from the restaurant back to the highway worth of city driving that was stop and go. All in all, I believe it was about 94 miles, 95 miles total between city and highway. So 16.7, that is pretty good. I'm happy with that. But if we think about that divided by the one we got earlier, right? The miles per gallon we got earlier, I think was 13.5. So if we average both of those together, so average between the two trips is 15.1, which is still not bad. I mean, in conclusion, 16.7 miles a gallon, highway miles a gallon. Again, we were going 70 miles an hour for the vast majority of that trip. Anytime there was a car in front of me, I had to speed up just a little bit to get around them. But the vast majority of those highway miles, those 90 miles, were all going 70 miles an hour on cruise control. So just keep that in mind. If you go faster than that, obviously it's going to decrease. If you're going slower than that, hey, you might actually be able to get, you might actually be able to get 17 miles a gallon, like they said in the trip. Maybe in the future, I'll actually do the same trip going maybe 55. I know that's pretty crazy, but that is technically how the EPA does highway miles a gallon. So maybe in a future video, if you guys comment, like, subscribe to the channel, I will do that in the future. So thanks so much for watching. Take care.